Welcome, everyone, to episode 58 of the Golden Squeeze podcast. Yes, we are still alive, and we are back. Wade is knocking over his microphone, and that's okay. 58. Who's 58? Jack Lambert, Derek Thomas. Not a lot. What we did learn is that there has never been a person playing a regular season game that wore the number 58 in the NBA. Jack McVay is number 58, and if he gets in a game this year, he will be the first ever number 58. But I digress because there's a lot to talk about. Starting off with ESPN has taken over for Peacock, and they will be airing the PLEs live. So the price has gone up for us wrestling fans. We're almost to the point, not there yet, where it used to be cheaper when we had to buy the pay-per-views almost. We're almost there. What was it? $50, $40?
Yeah.
When we first started watching wrestling, it might have been $30, but
I feel like it was still in the 40s back then.
40, but we only got 4 a year and 2 in your houses. So it's 6. We multiply that by 40, that's $240. Now it's $30 per month, which is $360. So it is more expensive now during a streaming, and that's not even counting the Netflix that we have to pay for, which is $18 a month. So,
and I could be wrong on this, but okay, so how much?
Peacock still has the library. ESPN has not bought the library yet. They're interested in buying it, but they don't have it yet. So we got to have Peacock to watch the old pay-per-views, ESPN to watch the new ones, Netflix to watch Raw, and then we got to have Fox to watch SmackDown.
No. It's Fox is back on USA.
I'm sorry, USA to watch SmackDown.
But
you got a cable.
Yes, because if it was still on Fox, pretty much the only TV programming you can get some sort of antenna receiver, point it towards, and get your free local channels is the CW, your local CW channel for NXT. That's it. Other than that, you're forced. I've tried to price out something see if there was some cheap way for me to get something basic with local channels in USA. And
I think that you get it for free with YouTube TV.
No, I'm saying to potentially see if there was a way for me to be able to part ways and get something like just with local channels and handpick like USA and a couple others. And I still think the cheapest thing I found was still after tax going to still be in the 50s.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And because, so say you get the ESPN channel that's coming out, that's launching tomorrow.
Well,
by the time this post, it'll be available. So the basic price for that, does that automatically include the WWE stuff, or do you have to pay in a different price plan for that? Or is it all included?
The DTC, it includes that. It's not all included. They have 2 different packages, but both packages include WWE. One package, you get the NFL Network, NFL Red Zone, and the All 22 package, and that is $15 per month. But if you package it with the DTC to get the pay-per-views and all the other stuff, it is $40 a month. So you save $5 by packaging them both, or you can do standalone, do the DTC, $30 a month, and the NFL is $15 a month. So 2 options.
Wait, what's the DT? What?
DTC, direct to consumer. That's what it's ESPN DTC. That is what they are running the PLEs on. And it comes with YouTube TV. I think it comes if you have cable. But if you're a cord cutter like myself, you have to pay for it separately, and that's $30 a month. And then if you want the NFL package to go with it, it's $40 a month.
So I did not know this. So having YouTube TV, I have access to all this.
I believe so. I don't know about the NFL, but you do get the DTC, which allows you to watch the PLEs. 90% sure.
But and I know we're getting off topic here, but just hammering home the price thing. What about when they do the Fox combination? Because you saw they're doing that, right?
Well, Fox was already bought out by Disney.
But they're
that
about to
family.
have available, I think in October is when all the Fox, like Fox News, Fox Business, FS1, FS2, all of those additional non-local Fox affiliates, I think, are going to be available in another ESPN combo package, dude.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
Hmm.
and if that's not included in what I already have, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna be able to.
Man,
Yeah,
it's coming. It's becoming tough.
oh yeah.
It's becoming expensive.
I
Like
just hope.
Shane McMahon. Money,
I
money,
just
money.
yes.
Here comes money.
I just hope at some point. What I really want to see, I want to see at some point, even if it's next day, something that airs WWE here in the States, where I've got access to NXT, SmackDown, and Raw, if
One
not
shot.
all on the same place live, all in the same place next day. I mean,
Oh, I would love that because right now the only thing you can get next day without paying a premium is Raw. That's it.
yeah. I
You have
mean,
to have
because,
Hulu Live, which I think is $60 a month to get the other ones next day, and I'm
and
not paying that. I
yeah,
have Hulu. I have ESPN Plus. All of these things should get me what I want.
yeah.
I should be able to do it with. I pay for these subscriptions, and then they want me to pay for an even more expensive subscription on top of that.
Yeah, dude.
Not fair.
It's nuts. But anyway, so yeah,
And
things
that's not
could
mention the
potentially
fact
get.
it's going to make it worse. ESPN is going to make it worse. They make everything worse, and it's going to be worse
Why do you think that?
because they do. Their
never.
programming is okay. Would you rather watch TNT basketball, or would you rather watch ESPN basketball?
TNT.
Would you rather watch NBC football? Or would you rather watch ESPN football? I'd rather watch it on NBC. Mike Tirico stinks.
I don't mind Mike Tirico.
If I have an option of watching something on ESPN or any other channel, I'm watching it on the other channel. I mean, that's just I just prefer the programming on everything else before I like ESPN. They try to shuck and jive too much. You know, I don't like that. They play around too much. Just get to the point. Their personalities are all divisive. They're all they only want the hot take. They don't actually care about like reporting anything. They just want hot takes like the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. I don't need that. Give me a Chuck. That's what I want. Give me a Shaq.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Take the home run derby. They're always trying to find tweaks to things. Like the home run derby is almost unwatchable. I'm gonna watch it every year, but it's almost unwatchable. Which, by the way, they are losing to Netflix. Just Netflix has the home run derby going forward.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, announced today. So everything is
confusing.
changing. Everything is changing. Back in the day, we used to have. I'm about to have my old man punching at clouds moment. We used to have a TV guide. You remember the TV guide? We could just flip through it. We'd know what was on. Now you can't have a TV guide because there's 47 streaming services that all play live things now, and you have to guess which one it's on.
Yeah,
like trying to watch a basketball game. Is it on TNT? Is it on ESPN? What is it on? I got to figure that out. No, it's not that hard, but it's annoying. Baseball too. Oh, baseball lost Apple games, which is good. ESPN's getting all the baseball games. They're going to have a separate streaming service on ESPN. I think that you have to pay for too.
Yes,
which is ridiculous.
I think I saw that.
Ridiculous. Give me one thing that gives me everything.
Does Raw? I'm sorry. Does SmackDown, now that they're in? I'm asking because I have not checked, because I do have YouTube TV, so I just record SmackDown. But currently, since they went back to USA, do you have the option to watch it next day on Peacock like every other program on NBC or whatever? You don't?
No.
Okay.
No. It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Anyways, so you're not a fan of ESPN running it?
No. I'm fairly certain that Hulu bought the rights to rebroadcast all of those shows. So when they switched, Hulu still had those rights. So NBC does not have the rights to do it until 30 days. Because it's part of the Hulu Live package. So they don't have those rights. It's kind of like how Spider-Man can't be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
because they don't have the rights, and it's what also allowed Universal Studios to still have Marvel rides, even though Disney owns them. So it's weird. It's weird.
So
let's talk about WrestlePalooza and how stupid a name that is.
Okay.
Because ESPN created that name, I'm sure. Hey guys, let's call it WrestlePalooza. Let's just make fun of wrestling fans. That's what we're doing. They're questioning our intelligence by calling it something stupid like that. And you know what? Maybe WrestleMania was stupid in '84 when it launched. Who knows?
I do have a question, and maybe I should know this, but the music festival Lollapalooza, where does that take place?
No clue.
If it's
where is WrestlePalooza?
It's in Indianapolis, where at the field house.
Okay.
I feel like
Lollapalooza takes place in Chicago.
Okay, then I was gonna say if it was at least in the same state as Lollapalooza, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. It doesn't count that it's in the Midwest. It's not the same place.
Not the same place. Not at all.
So yeah, I don't know about that name. But then also, like we talked about beforehand, they already teased the match with Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is advertised for SmackDown Friday, I think. And they're talking about this being in September with John Cena facing an opponent he hasn't faced in 10 years, which you looked it up. It's going to be Brock.
It's going to be Alberto Del Rio.
20. Oh boy. I think even the ones that have no desire to see Brock would rather him than Alberto Del Rio.
I refuse to believe that people actually don't want to see Brock. I think that people are just pretending outrage.
Well, we will touch on that in just a second. I don't see why they're not just advertised.
Well, like I told you before.
Why aren't they advertised? Because, but it's just a given. The SummerSlam
to finish, minimize the outrage.
Them bringing him out to close SummerSlam. I mean, they've been doing is talking highly of it and said, "Hey, John gave us his wish list of who he wanted to face."
What do we talk about happens tomorrow? They're launching their OTC. And what they need to do to launch their OTC to get people to buy it for wrestling fans, you market John Cena, you market a new pay-per-view, you don't mention Brock Lesnar, everybody buys it on opening day, and then in 2 weeks, once everyone's already bought their first subscriptions, then you announce Brock Lesnar so that you don't alienate the people who don't want Brock Lesnar. Even though if you're buying it for that purpose, you know it's Brock Lesnar. I think that's the way they think. I think that's the way they think.
If you're somebody who's somewhat been watching wrestling, you know it's Brock Lesnar.
Right. But it's not a coincidence that they announced that pay-per-view today. It's to sell subscriptions tomorrow. And Brock Lesnar could, I'm not saying he would, but in their thought process, they probably sat in that room and said, if we announce Brock Lesnar today, that could affect our sales tomorrow. So let's just hold off about a week to do that. That's what I think. That's the only logical explanation. It's not suspenseful to anyone who watches wrestling.
Maybe you're right.
But I would also argue that if you don't watch wrestling, then you probably don't know what's going on with Brock Lesnar. I don't think that's national news.
No,
Vince McMahon is, but not Brock. Brock Lesnar's involvement in that lawsuit is not something that I think the average person knows. I think wrestling fans know it.
Yeah.
It also
and MMA fans probably.
Yeah, and even if you knew it, you don't remember it. Probably. I mean, that suit launched a pretty good amount of time ago now.
Yeah. It's interesting. And to the point you made earlier, though, I guess compared to some of the other things we've seen about these incidents where people have actually been convicted of things or actually arrested even if it's just arrested and charges later dropped for things, for like whatever the case may be, like beating up a woman or beating up somebody or like just and I know serious allegations what's going on there, but just the fact that he hasn't been arrested for anything, there's been nothing gone to court about this, like no chance for any defense of saying, hey, this didn't happen, or hey, any further proof beyond, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Just the fact that just being, some people are just completely blackballing based on something that has not gone into the courtroom yet. And
That is
compared to some
society as
other
a whole.
incident, but compared to some other incidents where people have actually like 100% done caught on tape things and still openly supporting these folks, and it's like, oh wait a second, Brock Lesnar. It's like I don't know. It's just some of that stuff. It's interesting to me.
It is interesting, especially since the allegations to Brock Lesnar. There was never an allegation he had any contact with this woman.
No, I think the
like to the contrary, it was that he never had contact with her. They never met, and everything was done through Vince.
And I think there was something where I can't remember if she said she had a conflict or if he did, and that's why they never met up. But yes, not saying what these messages, what they say these messages said, or what the screenshot. I can't remember if were those screenshotted in there. I can't remember, or was it just the ones with her? Okay, hey, that's not my thing.
No,
but hey,
they were the messages that that Vince sent to her about Brock is what I think it was. What was screenshotted.
Okay. Now, not my thing, but I don't know. But I understand, regardless of what your personal opinions are of the content of the Brock messages, I understand it's the totality of him trying to use her in that way for those negotiations. I get it. For a guy in his position, using a woman who, from what it says, was basically in need, she provided this position and then used that to his advantage later. I completely get everything that's surrounding it. All I'm saying is just seeing some of these other celebrities there's no shadow of a doubt, it's beyond just allegations that horrible things have occurred, and they have been welcomed back with open arms.
People love R. Kelly.
I don't know.
He made a song in jail recently, and I'll tell you, the community loved it.
Was that the one where he's talking about he was
Malcolm
dyslexic and couldn't read the contracts? Or was that a different song?
He made a song about Malcolm Jamal Warner when Theo died, kind of paying homage.
Oh, I
Theo
did not know that.
Show. Yeah, and people loved it.
Okay.
Comment sections were heralding the song of this man who did the things that they were talking about doing to Brock Lesnar and Janelle Grant that R. Kelly actually did, which got him in jail.
Yeah. And like I said, we could go on about this for a long time, but the stuff Vince McMahon is accused of doing, if that's the way it went down, that's just...
Of course it's the way that we went down. Just think of the things he actually did on camera. Imagine what he did behind closed doors.
Yeah, and yes, there's no excuse. Just using that woman because of the position, and basically knowing that you feel like you have her in your control because of you supplying her with a job, money, making sure she was able to stay in the place she was staying. Yeah, I get a lot of the hesitation stuff, but on the flip side of it, just like I said, just some of the other stuff that we've both seen and the people welcome back like nothing ever happened, and that stuff was 100% proven to actually happen. It's interesting to me, but
it is. But what else is interesting is we are going to have a new WWE Women's Champion, because congratulations to Trinity Thatu, aka Naomi. She's having a baby with probably Jimmy, and looks like she wrestled a match while pregnant. Took some stomps to the stomach. A lot of people in comment sections are saying, how could she do that? People need a Little biology lesson here. Women don't know they're pregnant the day they get pregnant. Not the way it works.
It's
Not quite the
not.
way that it works. I don't think so. Unless they're very in tune with their body. Not quite the way that it works. So I'm sure that since she said she was 7 weeks pregnant, her match that she had 3 weeks ago, or how long ago was that? Is that 3 weeks ago now? Regardless, when she was 4 weeks pregnant, she probably didn't know she was pregnant. You normally find out, 5 weeks when it comes time for Mr. Period. Mr. Period doesn't come. I don't know if our 3 fans need a lesson from me on the birds and the bees. I can give it to them on a later podcast. But Naomi is pregnant. She had to relinquish her title, which means there's going to be a new champion. I'm sure it's going to be Rhea Ripley. But what do you want to see have happen?
I think they need to run with La Primera and resist the urge to run back Io and Mommy yet. Resist the urge for now and run with Stephanie Vakir. She can handle it.
Okay. I think it's time for... Apparently they're hell-bent on having at least one black champion at all times, so it's time to give the belt to Jade Cargill.
She's on SmackDown still, right?
Aren't we getting a draft here soon?
Are we?
When is the next draft?
I don't know. Hasn't it changed a few times?
WWE Draft 2025 is planned to take place after SummerSlam in September. So, aligning with the season premiere episodes of Raw and SmackDown, which are coming up in early September, which means it could be Jade Cargill. Draft her to Raw.
Well, Stephanie Vakir was already going against Naomi. Is that this Saturday, Clash at Paris?
Not sure.
If it is, I don't know if they've announced anything yet, but I don't know, man. This is a tough one because if you put it on Stephanie Vakir, I think them taking the title off of her at the Australia event to Rhea Ripley is too soon. I don't think you give her that short of a title run.
Okay.
But I also think she's insanely popular. She's very good. And I know the language thing, and that's an argument a lot of people make about, in terms of promos and stuff like that. But you can tell that she's trying to improve on that and work on that. But I mean, I don't see a situation with what he's doing now that they would put Paul Heyman with her. At least not right now. And that's tough, man. That's a tough spot. Don't think they want to run Io and Mommy back yet. But I'm still going to say I'd like to see them go ahead and give Stephanie Vakir an opportunity.
Okay. That's fine. I think that it's time to pull the trigger on Jade. But I would also agree with you that giving her a short title run does nobody any favors. So that means that Becky will be your next WWE Women's Champion. Becky or Charlotte. Somebody who you can have the title, you can give them a short reign, and then they'll drop it later on and then help build one of those two. Now that we're fleshing that out.
I don't like the Jade idea. Because I think the way they had her lose at SummerSlam, I think it would be better for her to get a rematch and beat Tiffy for that title with the way they did the SummerSlam match.
Okay.
That's I was kind of surprised. I know a lot of people were upset with the length of the match. I would agree with that part of it with the length. I enjoyed the match more than a lot of people did. I think I don't know if most of the gripes I saw were because of the time or what, but yeah, the way they did that and showing kind of like the whole frustration thing that they were like with Jade being frustrated about, Diffie kicking out and this and that. I think her first title would be better suited to beat Tiffany Stratton because of how they did that.
Okay.
But just me. That's me. But I know this is obviously something they weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
So I know things change, but I would like to see the payoff to what happened at SummerSlam be Jade winning that title from Tiffy.
Or let me think outside the box. Give the title to Chelsea Green for a short title run.
Oh, absolutely. I would be absolutely on board with that.
And then she can lose in Perth to Rhea Ripley, and they can do it that way. She's earned it. I would give it to Chelsea. That's what I would do. She doesn't need a long title run either.
But would the cheap heat of going against the national hero, be enough to get people to relentlessly boo her? Because they love Chelsea Green.
Yeah, not in Australia. I mean, they probably do love her in Australia.
I was going to say, I don't know
love her more
about
than.
No, I understand that. But just.
The question is what happens when you come back to the States? That's the real question.
Man, I do like the idea, though.
But you can always have a transitional champ to a transitional champ and then have Rhea lose it quickly to Jade or Stephanie Valkyrie or something like that. It's another option.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I like the idea of Jade having the title, just not that.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I know it'd be kind of an odd situation, but dude, I wouldn't even mind if they were gonna bring. Nah, that wouldn't work. Because I was thinking if Jade beats Tiffy soon, gets the title, and then Tiffy goes to Raw and gets that title, even if it's on a short-term basis.
No.
But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. This one, I know what I would do, but I know that that's not something like I definitely don't have a Tiffy winning Money in the Bank, like, no, it's going to happen feeling about it. It's,
we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
That is what Paul wanted us to feel, not know what's going to happen. Mr. Levesque wants us to always be guessing. So we'll see what happens with that title. It's interesting, but again, congratulations to Naomi. It stinks for women, man. You miss a whole year and don't have that problem. WNBA, you miss like half your career when you get pregnant.
But that whatever event she comes back for, that place is going to go nuts.
Maybe, probably.
No, I think so. She's
still a heel,
but a very well liked heel too.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's and I wonder if all this unexpected stuff is finally going to lead them to call up Jordynne Grace once she's done with her.
They're still so deep. There's so many wells they can go to. They don't need to call up Jordynne Grace. They haven't even like touched this. I mean, we're going to get Alexa and Charlotte at some point in time, and then whoever loses that can break off and then get back in the title scene. I mean, Stephanie Valkyrie hasn't done enough yet. Julia hasn't done enough yet. I mean, they don't need to go to Jordynne Grace yet. Wouldn't mind having her in the main roster, but she'll just get lost in the shuffle right now. I mean, Naomi's hurt. They have so many women's wrestlers. Still got to bring Carmella back too.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I lost my train of thought.
Wah,
yeah, definitely a wah. No, speaking of, a deep roster, a very good match I watched the other day was it wasn't yesterday's, it was last week's NXT. If I don't know if how they re-air it or if you can find it somewhere, but
I'll see it in 30 days.
Yeah, the Lash Legend Nia Jax match on NXT was very good. Good.
What's Nia doing down there?
She went down there and, dude, I was surprised at the result. I figured she went down there and was going to put over Lash Legend, and it was pretty much, I think, the same ending just about to the Queen when Nia won Queen of the Ring, when Valkyria tried the power bomb off the turnbuckle and Nia squashed her. That's pretty much what happened. She last tried it, Nia fell on her, and then she did the Annihilator and got the pin.
Okay.
The only problem I have with that, Lash had already slammed her and a few other good power moves. It, as silly as this may sound, it almost made it seem a little less believable that she didn't complete the move. You know what I'm saying? Does that?
Yeah.
But But granted, it was towards the end of the match, and I think there was a announced table spot, some other stuff on the outside. But yeah, if you get a chance, it was good. Crowd was getting into it. It was good.
I'll check it out if I can find it.
And I'm trying to think. If there's do you think the end game with Seth Rollins is him versus CM Punk at Mania?
Or what are you gonna say? What was your or was there an or?
Or throw back to Batista turning on Triple H in the Evolution days and Braun Breaker turning on Seth?
It's not big enough.
I mean, I know they haven't even planted the seeds for that yet, but you got to think that's coming.
Well, of course, every faction ends eventually. I just don't think that's big enough for WrestleMania. They got to do a lot of building up a Braun Breaker to make that big enough for WrestleMania, but well, they can. Braun's good. They need to remind us sometimes that he's good. I don't feel like he's getting enough time in the actual ring, but
I don't like him losing. He lost a street fight the other night. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Jay's always going to be super popular. Speaking of Jay, so me and you have both watched WWE Unreal. They said new episodes are coming next year. I really hope there's one that focuses on why they took the belt off of Jay when they did. Because I had it in my head that they did that because they've got the event in Austria coming up later this year, I believe. And I was like, okay, well, they wanted to have the belt on Gunther for when they did that. Well, as soon as they announced it was Gunther versus Punk at SummerSlam, I think everybody, as soon as Seth Rollins kind of was tiptoeing about the severity of his injury in interviews, I think that's when it became clear, okay, this is probably a work, and that he was going to be cashing in. So the fact that the title was removed from Gunther months prior to the Austria event, I just wonder if something happened.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because had Gunther won that match, or had Rollins cost Punk without cashing in, I would say, okay, well, that's why they did that, just to have a fresher match like Punk Gunther. I think they've done that on live shows before, but for a PLE, a fresh Gunther Punk, two guys you can trust in the ring to put on a good match. But they keep the title on Gunther for the upcoming European stops.
Yeah.
But, dude, and I mean, I know Phoenix has great fans. I know that. But I just was shocked that they did a title change in Phoenix on an episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And I really want to know why they did that.
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Yeah. I know there's so much they can put into those shows, but I really hope that's something that they yeah, because I've been very curious about that one for a while now.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm sure they'll go into it when the time comes. Well, maybe they won't. Since everything was fresh, I don't know why they would go into it 9 months from now, 10 months from now when it comes out. They didn't go over anything that was old in this season. The oldest thing was like Rumble.
Was it? Was that the oldest thing they did?
I think so.
Could
be wrong.
I feel like there was something else. Okay, so my early prediction is Punk versus Rollins, but
I think
I just wonder where that leaves Roman.
Why does he need Rollins? Well, I guess to finish the story of Paul Heyman.
But they could always do that. They could do that at the Royal Rumble.
I think it's Roman Jacob. I don't know how we get there, but I think it's Roman Jacob.
Would they need to make one of them a full-out heel for that match?
They can. I think it's just two tweeners going at it. I don't think they need to.
You know, man, if it's not, you think there's any chance it's Jacob and Cody?
For anything?
Cody's title.
Could be.
I like that.
We also have Zilla waiting in the wings. Zilla Fatu. He's with TNA.
That's
He's
right.
going to have to come over eventually. Don't know when that's going to happen. He's got some star power to him. That newest one, he's trash. What's his name? Talatonga?
Talatonga. Yeah.
Haikalua. I think it was before that, or something along those lines. He's useless.
I like Roman Jacob. I like Jacob Cody. But dude, every year there's going to be are they finally going to do Rock Roman?
True.
Or are they ever going to do Rock Cody?
You see that?
I don't want to.
I can do without that.
You still want to see Rock and Roman. I do.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And scratch what I said about Cody and Jacob. It's got to be, certainly they got to do Cody and Randy Orton, don't they? With Randy back as a heel. That has to.
Yeah, probably. Eventually.
Yeah. Speaking of Randy Orton, I know it's super late where you are. Going back to SummerSlam. Thoughts on Jelly Roll not winning?
He said he didn't want to.
Did he really?
Yeah. He said he has to lose.
Okay. And our 3 viewers will know I've been on record multiple times as saying I think this should have gone this way unless said person specifically requested not to win or to lose or whatever the case may be.
Triple H pegged him to win. He said, no, I'd really appreciate it if you let me lose.
Really? Where was that? Was that?
I think it was from Jelly Roll himself.
No. I mean, who was that? Did Cody interview him? Or
no? I read it. I don't remember where I read it. Okay. It was like right after SummerSlam when I read it.
Because I feel like he went on one of the wrestlers' podcasts after.
Could have been.
Okay. Well, hey, if that's the case, hey, I'm all for that. Because, dude, and those two, that bump he took from Logan on the table, that was awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Roll, he played the role. He did what he was supposed to do. He worked hard.
Oh yeah.
He put on a good match at his weight.
Took it very seriously.
And yes, it was on What Do You Want to Talk About? Yeah.
Okay.
And also, a while ago, we had talked about, I had said that it was his first episode of his podcast, and you said you thought that he had it. And I don't know if we discussed this. What it was is that WWE owned his podcast, and then he broke away from WWE. And the episode of his podcast that he had like a month or two ago was not his first podcast, but it was the first podcast where he owned the podcast, as opposed to WWE owning the podcast.
But WWE still airs it, though?
It could also be vice versa, where he owned it before, and now WWE owns it. But it's one or the other. I don't think he runs it. He has his own. It airs on his own YouTube channel. Okay. That's where it airs now. Okay. But speaking of that, did you see the Undertaker podcast? WWE bought it, so now he hosts it with Michelle McCool.
Okay, I saw that she had been on there with him. What was the other guy that was on there with him?
His name was Matt. Is one of his friends.
Why is he not doing it?
Because the Undertaker approached him and said, "Hey, WWE took it over and they don't want you."
Like, you're being serious?
Yeah. I watched an interview with Maven Huffman and Matt, and he explained the whole situation.
Is he bitter with the Undertaker?
He talked about how they made an agreement that money was never going to come between the two of them, their friendship when they did this podcast. And apparently the Undertaker made the podcast go on 6 to 8 extra months just so he could continue to do it because he loves to do the podcast. It was his idea, the other guy's idea. But when WWE took it over, they essentially said, "No, we don't want him. No one knows him. We want your wife." And now the podcast is not very good. But they're going to get better guests, but it's not going to be a better podcast just because you have better guests. It is what it is. And he also said, with the WWE backing, they can force wrestlers on there. And before he was even on it, he said, now they can force, Gunther to sit down there and talk to Undertaker. And lo and behold, that's exactly what they did. They got Gunther on the show, and they were getting Shawn Michaels in the show and things like that. And he talked about how the Undertaker didn't really like to ask people for favors, so he didn't he didn't want to ask Mick Foley to be on the show. He didn't want to ask Mick Foley for a favor, so he was never on the show because he refused to ask. But WWE, they have no problem saying, "Hey, Mick Foley, go on this show" or whatever. So it is what it is.
Is he going to be on the show?
I don't know, but I'm sure he'll be on there eventually.
I would love him, and
I don't know if he's under contract. He probably has a Legends contract.
Probably. I would love him and The Godfather to co-host it.
I think The Godfather did an episode of...
He did. I'm saying on a permanent basis, I would like him to be there, and I think that'd be...
They clearly want something by having Michelle McCool do it. I think they want to try to attract some female viewers, which The Godfather is not going to do. But I actually watched a 2-hour episode of the old podcast when they had Midian on. That's a funny guy.
I've seen some of that.
Yeah, he's crazy. He said that's his only liberal friend. That's what he said.
What about...
Midian is Undertaker's only really liberal friend. Or maybe he said he was the only liberal member of the BSK. No, I think he said it was the only liberal friend.
And I could be wrong on this. I feel like, though...
Mick Foley's liberal, but I don't...
And I could be not a whole lot, but I feel like there's some things that Mark Henry has said that make me question that.
Question what?
His only liberal friend.
You think he's got more?
No, talking about because I'm pretty sure him and Mark Henry are pretty close.
Yeah, is Mark Henry liberal?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's some...
Or are you just being racist? You think he's liberal because he's black?
No, I feel like there's certain things that have been said that made me... Because this definitely predates because I think Mark Henry was recently asked about the Hulk Hogan situation. And
he was. Well, I don't know if he was asked, but he talked about it.
Oh, yeah. And I've got zero issues with what he said. I don't know why anybody would have.
A lot of people did.
Why?
They just wanted to get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Yeah, he's racist. So
what? But seriously, what more would they want him to say? He gave his personal opinion on the matter. He said things he suggested to do. He suggested for him to do. Now, I will say this. I do believe that Hulk Hogan probably had people in his camp telling him not to do that. I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
But Mark Henry didn't try to take away Hogan's impact on the industry. If anybody tried to do that because of the comments that he made on that video, because of those racist things he said, I'm sorry. I will never agree with trying to discount his overall impact on the industry because of what he said well after that.
He's the most impactful person to ever lace up a pair of boots.
Yes.
It can't really be argued.
But I can honestly say I did not realize that Mark Henry was getting flack for what he said.
Oh, he was.
Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with what Mark Henry said. He gave his opinion, said what he tried to do to, even after what was said, he tried to help the situation, and he didn't have to do that.
Nope. He tried to be the bigger man. He got rebuffed, and he hasn't forgotten that.
Yep. But again, I also do believe
society as a whole, when someone dies, they want you to act like their S doesn't stink. That's just the way it works. Kobe wasn't looked the way that Kobe was when Kobe was alive. And then when he died, he became...
I agree with that.
It became Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. When Kobe was alive, it was never Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I don't want to get in this GOAT debate, but it was never Jordan, Kobe, LeBron when Kobe was alive. And Kobe's not in that conversation. I'm not going to fall for, he's dead, he's the best ever. No. He's not. He's not in the conversation. Only people who put him in that conversation are Shaq and people who are 20 or younger. That's it. But that's what people do. Juice World. I don't even know who that is. He dies and he's the best rapper ever. I don't know what a Juice World is. I don't know what a Mac Miller is. I don't know what any of these people are. I barely know what a Nipsey Hussle is. These are not the best rappers ever.
Yeah, I know we're getting off topic here, but so people tried to say Juice WRLD was one of the best ever. Like,
oh, they were all like, oh, he was. People were. I like
Juice WRLD. I do, but I don't know if I would go. But these days, it's not like when I used to try to dissect all genres of music and do typical college kid deep dives into stuff like that. Hey, if it makes me smile or makes me want to listen to it again, that's all that matters to me these days.
Yeah.
So, but no,
that's
like,
just what people
like
do when they die. Everyone's like, "Oh, they were the best. They were awesome." Like, are we forgetting? And everyone defending Hogan, or everyone supporting Hogan, I have no problem with that. But my issue is that while he was alive, he got booed out the arenas that he was in. That's my problem. So why are you doing that? And then
yes. Yeah, that definite misstep. I mean, I think we talked about this before. Just I don't know what they thought was going to happen in LA, bringing him out there for a promo.
100%.
That was I just really don't see how they misread that room that badly. Just
yeah.
It's
and then you hear the reports afterwards saying that Hogan was mad about that whole situation, about him getting booed, and was upset that he went out there, didn't think that was going to happen. I'm like, come on, Hulk. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, then again,
I don't think
that goes with him rebuffing Mark Henry. Like, he was just that tone deaf. He probably thought to himself, I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
This was a tangent and a half.
Oh, yeah. And I know Hulk Hogan has been known for some tall tales, or had been known for some tall tales in his time. But I definitely, I think there's at least some truth that people in his camp, and maybe specifically legal counsel in his camp, told him they didn't think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
I could see that. But
yeah. Oh, well.
But at some point, though, man, the final decision comes down to you.
Yeah.
So, and but yeah, I just wow, I really did not know that Mark Henry was getting flack over that. That's another interesting thing.
Yeah, people get flack for anything these days. It is what it is. One last thing I want to talk about before we go today. Did you see the reports that when Chris Jericho's contract is up as AEW, that he may be making a return to WWE?
I could say that.
Yeah.
When is it up?
End of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love to have one more run of Chris Jericho. I don't need him in the ring. I can just have him talk. If they can recreate some sort of friendship with Kevin Owens or something along those lines, that would be fun. But he needs to come back home and retire under the WWE umbrella. He doesn't need to retire under the AEW umbrella.
I agree. There's a few of those guys I'd love to see come back home.
Yeah. Mark Henry came back home. The other ones can do it too. Paul White can come back home.
I was going to say, I love Paul White to come back home. Love Edge and Christian to come back home.
I think they will. I think Edge and Christian will. Paul White can come back as like a producer or something.
Yeah. And I really would like to see Daniel Bryan come back.
That's not happening.
I know you
never say never in the wrestling business, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
We'll see. But man, you brought up Gunther earlier on The Undertaker's. I have not listened to it yet, but I did hear one clip. He said he was doing a signing or something, some sort of event. Gunther was. I think it was some sort of event. And he says somebody told him, I drove 8 hours to see you. Like 8 or 9 hours to see you. And he claimed he told that person, really think you should make better use in your time. That's crazy.
So, but that's another issue, because that means that the WWE produced product means that the person that's being interviewed is in character. He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
I've got a question, though. Do you really think some of those guys aren't really thinking that when they get told these things?
Oh, they're all definitely thinking it, but you don't say it. You keep it to yourself.
So, but yeah,
Those
dude, but
losers.
he's so good. I seriously wonder though, like, was he still playing? Was he still in Gunther mode, or did he really tell somebody that?
Well, they're one and the same. He was in Gunther mode. It just so happens to also be Walter mode.
And also, speaking of Gunther, when is Dragunov coming back? It's got to be soon. Now that he dropped the title,
That's a good question. I don't know.
because I can't wait for dude. I tell you what, here's my prediction for Austria: Gunther, Dragunov. Those are probably two of the most beloved wrestlers over there, and putting them there at a show like that the roof would blow off that place.
Dragunov has been cleared to return, and the 31-year-old is simply waiting for a story that will bring him back.
Okay, and is Gunther? Oh wait, no, Gunther. They use the broken nose. He bladed. I think that was very apparent when you watched the replay. He did not hit his nose on the table. When he went under the table, he bladed.
There's too much blood to not be blade.
Yeah, and
it was, and it just came out of nowhere. It didn't come after the fall. It came like 10 seconds later.
Yeah, after he was under the table and he came back up. But I don't know if he saw they were using that because apparently he needed surgery on his nose. Apparently already. And so I don't think he's been back since SummerSlam. So I think maybe even as soon as the Paris event, they start that feud up again. That'd be a great place. Over in Europe, start that feud again. I know something I was going to talk about earlier. How long do you think they can go without turning Dom face? They love him.
I know. His whole career. He loves kayfabe, though. He loves kayfabe.
Dude, that stuff, I could watch him and Rey Mysterio all day.
Well, I mean, that's tough.
I think that they've got time to do it because things are peachy right now. I think eventually Finn has to turn on him.
Yeah.
And then I think when he beats Finn, that place is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Again.
I can see that. Yeah.
And I'm glad to see him and AJ are going to run it back again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I hope they do. Speaking of AJ, I really, really hope they do John Cena versus AJ Styles one more time. I don't care if it's on a Raw. I don't care if it's on a SmackDown.
They won't.
You don't think so?
I think we're too deep in his run.
Not if Brock is in September. They got plenty of time. Because who's left?
But you don't put AJ at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be at the end. It can be before the end. But now knowing that
Brock, there's only 2 more. October or 3 more. October, November, December. It's got to be in October. I don't think it can be the ultimate, the penultimate. I don't think so.
They could do Cena Styles at the Petco at the Survivor Series event.
Not big enough.
I disagree. From a wrestling fan standpoint, I disagree.
Yes, that's exactly right. I agree with that statement. That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for a wrestling fan's perspective. They're looking for a mainstream perspective. It's not big enough for mainstream.
You can make the argument on that you could have made that argument about Gunther and CM Punk, and they still had that main event night 1.
It's not the same.
How?
It's John Cena. He's 3 times the size of both of those guys. For John Cena's farewell tour, yes.
But John Cena would be in the match.
Right, but you were trying to compare it to Gunther versus CM Punk closing something. I'm trying to say that this is still John Cena. John Cena, for his retirement tour, is only going to have, at the Big 4, I'm not saying he can't do it, but I don't think he can be at the Big 4. The Big 4, it's got to be him versus someone else who, they want it to be him versus somebody else who's also big. AJ Styles is small.
I'm still making the same argument because at SummerSlam, John Cena, that was on night 1. they still want to sell those tickets for night one of their first 2-night SummerSlam.
How many survivors? Is it 1 or 2 nights for survivors?
I believe it's still one. It's just one. It's at a Petco Park.
I think it's going to be a bigger name.
And also seeing that it's War Games, I'm wondering if Cena will be in the War Games match.
I also am going to make a prediction right now. One of his final matches will be against Kurt Angle. Ruthless aggression. I think one of his last matches will be against Kurt Angle.
Remember, for the three of you, me and Josh saw Kurt Angle's last match.
We did.
And when
his second to last match, because he's fighting John Cena at WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, at something.
Remember when Baron Corbin did the "You Can't See Me"?
Yeah, I do. They didn't do Baron right.
Absolutely not.
He's so talented.
Yeah, dude. But when they had that the ship's gimmick, or when he went solo, the pirate thing on SmackDown, I was like, he's done. And I hated it, but I knew that was it. Even if it's not at Petco Park, here's my prediction. Since they've made it clear AJ and Dom are running that back, I think AJ wins, and either at one of the PLEs or a Monday Night Raw, AJ does the open challenge like Cena used to always do with the U.S. title. And also running back when AJ did it a few years back on SmackDown, he did the U.S. title open challenge, and John Cena came out and they had a great interaction in the ring. But before the bell rang, Kevin Owens interrupted and the fans lost it. Were booing because they never had the match. But I think that'd be a great way to get them one last match and be a good use of his time on one of the last Raw appearances that he's got.
That's not bad. It's just not going to be at SummerSlam. It's not going to be one of the big four, but that's not bad.
Now, I just don't know about the placement of that. Because I think that could main event like one of the smaller events, but if it's on Monday Night Raw, that has to be the main event. I don't think that's an option. It has to be. But well, I respectfully disagree. I think that is just simply because it's John Cena. I think that is going to sell tickets. I think.
Okay.
And because, dude, I got to admit. And I love Gunther. I am surprised that they, for the first 2-night SummerSlam, that they strictly relied on the star power of CM Punk to main event night one, with Cena not being there until night 2.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they did. I think, of course, CM Punk's going to be the bigger draw, but, I mean, Gunther's been putting on great matches for years now, and that's a match that I've wanted to see. But we shall see.
I think that's a good spot to end episode 58 of the Golden Squeeze podcast. If you like what you heard, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and we are going to see you on the next episode of the Golden Squeeze podcast. Yeah.